and welcome to the Roy Rogers Riders Club.
Thrill again to the thundering hooves and cattle stampedes, barroom brawls, and shootouts of classic Western features and TV shows. Annie Oakley, Roy Rogers, Gene Autry, John Wayne, and all their cowboy pals and sidekicks roam the West once more. Heroes never die on Comedy MX channels. They just ride off into the sunset.
The immortal pen of James Fenimore Cooper brings you thrilling tales of excitement, blazing action on the early American frontier, stirring adventures filled with the daring and courage of Hawkeye, first of the Long Rifles, and his blood brother, Chingachgook, last of the Mohicans.
It's happened again!
Well, that's funny. People usually head for the meeting house when the bell tolls, not run from it.
He's not to be seen. Rope motionless. There's not a soul up there.
We're bewitched, I tell you, Preacher Hale.
And I tell you, there's an earthly explanation for it, Mr. Burns.
There must be some reason for it. A bell doesn't ring by itself. The wind, perhaps.
There isn't breeze enough to blow a feather. Witchcraft, that's what it is.
Come now, Sneed. Witches in a house dedicated to worship? Poppycock.
Then what made the bell toll with not a human hand to touch the rope? Bewitched, that's what we be. The whole town's bewitched.
Hawkeye, Chingachgook, Squire Griggs, these are the men who guided the first settlers into this township.
You're more than welcome. Preacher Hale's been telling me he sent for you.
We're going to need more than ball and powder to help us chase away witches.
Oh, maybe we should have brought our broomsticks.
It's not anything to be made light of.
He speaks gospel, Hawkeye. Wayneville's beset with superstition and fear.
The preacher can tell you what we've been enduring after a bit of refreshment.
Oh, I'm sorry. You've come a long way. But this evil that's abroad has been very upsetting.
I not believe in witches, but when belly is full, ears are more willing to listen.
Just
You find something?
That's nothing to eat, but mighty interesting. What do you make of this?
His hair from horse's tail.
Yeah, it's strong enough to ring that bell without pulling on the rope.
But I never hear of horse climbing ladder.
I never heard of witches that fly. But a clever witch could stay out of sight up there. That horsehair'd be mighty hard to see from down here. Mighty hard to see up close.
Far as you come.
That suits us, Mr. Bradley. We just want to take a closer look at that lame horse of yours.
Your doubting won't cure, stranger. Just take my word for it, she's bewitched.
Well, supposing we prove to you that she isn't, would you still be heading away from your home?
Well,
There's your witch's curse. tie a horsehair tight enough around a horse's pastern and he'll soon go lame.
Yeah, but who'd do such a thing if it weren't a witch?
Maybe you've got the answer to that. That's an old cavalryman's trick.
Well, there ain't no cavalrymen hereabouts that I know of.
Well, you never know what people were before they came out here.
But what about Kilbane? We saw him draw the milk from his cow. Brimstone it had in its taste and in its smell.
Brimstone is sulfur. Cow licks it up, it'll taint the milk.
I know every square inch hereabouts. I ain't seen no sulfur.
Maybe the same human hand who tied that hair around your horse's leg fed the Kilbane cow sulfur. Well, one thing for sure, by the time you get back to your farm, your horse will forget to limp.
I got rid of that once. Throw it away.
Oh, a nice doll like this? You're not afraid of it, are you? Sometimes grown-ups forget what a doll really means.
You holding it like that, Prudence? It don't seem no harm in it whatever.
Doll and little girl. She'll be loving it with tenderness, Mr. Bradley.
I'm beholden to you, stranger. There'll always be a welcome for you and your friend at the Bradley farm. Yep.
We hunt witch. Chase out of white man's head. Now, we look for food, huh? Hard luck good.
A good start for convincing Bradley to go back. The whole town's a buzzing with it.
Truly a victory against evil.
Well, it's no more than the eye of a needle. There's a tolling of that bell to answer for. Remind me tomorrow to take a look at the cow the Kilbanes left behind.
What need?
Just might take us one step closer to whoever's trying to get this town to believe in witches.
Only a man with a warped mind could be spreading this terror amongst us.
Or a woman.
Man or woman, a disciple of the devil himself.
Well, the bottomless pit's filled.
You killed her. You convinced me to come back here. Giving her that cursed doll. You spawn of the devil.
Strong. Little girl, not able to push in.
Well, it could have crumbled. What do you make of those marks?
Look like cut with iron.
Chiseled through. Little girl leaning over to get water would have never noticed it.
Even men not notice.
Looks like our witches didn't care which one of the Bradleys fell in. Hold it.
He get away.
I want him to. I've got a hunch there's more than one witch in these parts. Shooting him will only leave us a cold trail.
You see face?
No. But there's not more than a couple of saddle horses in the settlement. Shouldn't be too hard to find out which one's been out for a gallop. Always liked watching a smithy work. It's real interesting. don't let me stop you. Gotta strike while the iron's hot, don't you?
Hawkeye.
Nice looking mare. Yours?
I got no time to dally.
I might be interested in buying her.
Ask Preacher Hale. It's his.
Well, thanks anyway.
My word on it, Hawkeye. I didn't put saddle to that mare today.
That's good enough for me. But somebody had. She was still lathered up when I touched her at the blacksmith shop.
Your pardon for bursting in, Preacher Hale, but I found this in my pasture. Smell it.
Sulfur. Looks like our witch has been real busy. A few more salt lick blocks like that, and nobody'd have milk fit to drink. Where would anyone around here get sulfur?
Well, blacksmith sometimes uses sulfur to cure his iron.
So he does.
He always talk. Say witches bring magic curse. Maybe he talked too much.
Well, one thing's certain. My mare's been ridden, with only Sneed and myself having access to her.
What makes you think that Sneed's been riding your mare?
A man about Sneed's size tried to shoot Chingachgook and me at the Bradley farm. Got away on the mare.
Did you get a good look at him?
Not good enough. Mrs. Hale, could you spare a little time from your knitting?
In a good cause.
Could you spare one of your knitting needles?
Why, I suppose so.
What's a knitting needle got to do with Sneed? You're not accusing him of being the one behind all this witch business.
Well, I'm not accusing anybody of anything yet. I was just wondering, what would Sneed do if he found one of those rag dolls in his blacksmith shop?
And saving some patches for a quilt. It'd be just the thing to make a rag doll.
I'm getting out of here. And not even you can stop me. You said all we had to do was scare them by acting like witches. Well, I'm not so sure there ain't none. Otherwise, how did I get this? You sent it.
Poor Sneed. Did you see his face? The fright of the devil on it.
Oh, now, Mary, you're not to blame.
Hadn't thought it would lead to more killing.
You're not to blame any more than the rest of us.
If anyone's to take the blame, ma'am, it's me.
What have you found out, Hawkeye?
Well, nothing very much. Afraid the only thing we've got to go on are some hoof prints.
Hoof prints?
Whoever murdered Sneed must have run off on your mare. Chingachgook and me are going to try and track him down.
A hard chore for a man afoot to run down a horse.
Even man on horse must stop sometime.
May the good Lord be a beacon to them. Otherwise, before this day's over, not a soul will be left in town.
Begging your pardon, Squire. Ludkin here wants to know what the preacher's wife was blaming herself for.
Long years, haven't you, Ludkin?
Well, he ain't the only one wants to know what's going on. And as Squire of this township, it's your duty to tell us.
I don't rightly know there's much to tell. Except that this was found by poor Sneed's body right in the blacksmith shop.
Why, that puppet's made of patches, and I recognize them.
Come now, patches are patches.
Not when you fingered them as much as I have. And that red one? I gave that to the preacher's wife.
Are you sure?
Should know my own flannel.
What's wrong with you people? The way you're acting, a body would think you were ready to accuse Mrs. Hale of being a witch.
Maybe she is. Come on, let's put the question to her.
Hold on. How can you even think that our good preacher's wife is a servant of darkness? Why, he's been a blessing to all of us.
Sometimes blessings turn to curses. And even good men get taken with bad spirits. We'll talk to both of them. Get the real truth.
And that needle. I recognize that, too. It's hern.
To the preacher's house.
You'll commit a great wrong if you act in haste.
Horse stop here. Someone get off. Walk back to town.
I wonder why that someone went to all the trouble of stealing this horse.
Maybe try to leave false trail. Lead us out of town.
I think you've got something, Chingachgook. With us out of town, the witch might be planning to start a witch hunt. We better get back there.
Ye made this. Now confess.
I confess only my love and devotion to our Lord.
Blasphemer. Preacher, renounce her or burn at the stake with her.
What madness is this?
Burns, won't you see reason? Just because Mary Hale made that doll, you can't...
Stay out of this, Squire, or people will begin thinking she's bewitched ye too.
Better threaten them with the stake. Bethink yourself.
We're doing more than threatening. To the fire with them.
We've always served our Lord, Mary. If this is his will...
Shoot anybody who tries to set fire to the wood.
Where you go, my brother?
You keep your eyes and ears open, you'll find out.
Told you over and over. If I'm guilty, my husband isn't. Let him go.
If you're a witch, confess and death will be swift.
She is innocent. She cannot confess to a lie. Squire Griggs, I appeal to you.
I appeal to you. Just admit that your wife's bewitched and you'll be saved.
You never believed in witchcraft? You're behind all this? What are you, a madman?
An accusation from a man possessed means nothing. Get flame.
Listen to me. It's Griggs. He's the one. He's behind all this.
You've lost your flock, preacher. They followed you, but they do my bidding now. And afore your ashes are cold, the fools will be fleeing, and the town will be mine. Mine.
May you always have the taste of our guts in your mouth.
Mary, if our Lord wishes us to die, Griggs is only his instrument.
Dead men don't ring bells.
He would to get even. He always hated me, even when we were in the cavalry. But I'm his commanding officer. He'll have to obey me or I'll kill him again. Sneed, stop those bells! Sneed. Stop it! Stop it!
There's your witch for you. When he comes to, he'll be fit for hanging.
You certain you can't stay for service, Hawkeye?
We've got a long way to go, preacher. If you want us to spread the word that there never was a witch in this town.
Well, whenever we give thanks, we'll be thinking of you. And Chingachgook.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bell.
I always liked bells. Kind of got a song of their own. Like men singing when they're happy and free.
Join us again at this same time next week for another of James Fenimore Cooper's gripping tales of the early American frontier. Another exciting adventure of Hawkeye and his blood brother, Chingachgook, last of the Mohicans.
James Fenimore Cooper came stirring tales of the early American frontier, when freedom-loving pioneers were carving a new nation out of an unknown, savage, and untamed wilderness. Stories of those exciting days and of the courage, daring, and devotion of men like Hawkeye, the first of the long rifles, and his tribal brother Chingachgook, the last of the Mohicans.
The last trap should be by that dead tree.
Trap empty.
It hasn't been empty for long. There's claw scratches and a blood trail.
Not reset. Mean Huron robbed trap.
Huron should be farther north.
Huron like bird. When winter come, go south. Put teepee in forest to protect from winter wind.
We'd better get back to the canoe.
We walk many miles on trap line, carry many furs. Now, me like bear, want long winter sleep in safety of settlement.
Well, we'll be in Bridgeton by noon, but with Hurons around, I don't think we'll get much sleep.
Silence, sudden. Bird give warning. Danger.
Yeah, let's get back to the canoe.
Hawkeye and Mohican take much fur from Huron trap. Gray Wolf now take fur back.
These furs belong to Hawkeye and Chingachgook, and there'd be more if Gray Wolf hadn't robbed our trap lines.
Hawkeye's scalp would bring much honor to teepee of Gray Wolf. Hawkeye give furs, Hawkeye and Chingachgook keep scalp.
I don't think you're going to take any furs or scalps today.
This time, Hawkeye lose furs. Next time, scalp.
What you put on head?
Well, don't worry about it. The swelling will go down in a couple of hours.
Head pound like war drum.
You're lucky you've still got a head.
Too bad you lost all your furs, Hawkeye. I could have got you a good price for them.
Well, with those Hurons still around, I don't rightly figure our furs as being lost.
You're going after them?
Chingachgook hadn't stopped that tomahawk. We'd be after him right now.
That's dangerous business. When winter comes, tain't safe in them woods with the Hurons behind every tree. That's what I've been trying to tell him, but he won't listen either.
Who is he?
Name's Everett Carpenter. He's leading them settlers over to the other side of Glass Lake. Got a commission to set up a new settlement and trading post there.
This time of year?
Yep. Says he's got to have them all in and housed by spring.
With Hurons enforced, mean trouble.
You know something else? They ain't taking enough guns. At least not half enough. Powder and shot for maybe 4 or 5 at most.
How?
Sawaga, when you finish up here, go in the... Oh, I beg your pardon.
Just looking over your outfit, Mr. Carpenter. Planning on doing some traveling, huh?
That is our intention, sir.
Storekeeper tells me you're heading for Glass Lake.
If you mean Oswego Lake, yes. We're going to establish a new settlement there. It'll be called Carpenterville.
No need to ask where you get the name.
The establishing of Carpenterville is the fulfillment of a lifelong dream, sir. Inasmuch as I've undertaken to lead these people, I feel I'm justified in allowing myself a slight amount of personal pride. Sawaga, get the rest of the supplies.
You figure your personal pride will protect you from the Hurons?
Our guide, Sawaga, he's an Indian, a Mohawk. And I'm quite certain that if anybody should know the ways of Indians, it would be another Indian.
Chingachgook's a Mohican. Why don't you ask him?
Really, Mr.
Folks call me Hawkeye.
I appreciate your concern, Mr. Hawkeye, but I must attend to my own business in my own way. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Just a minute, Mr. Carpenter. Chingachgook and I are heading into Huron territory. I think it might be a good idea if we tag along with you people.
You're quite welcome, of course, but please keep in mind that I already have a guide for our party.
Oh, that's understood.
You must pardon my husband's abruptness. He has so much on his mind. Do you really think there'll be trouble with the Indians?
Well, that's a question only the Indians can answer. But if I were your husband, I'd sure take more guns and powder.
I'll see what I can do.
If he is Mohawk, why does he take Paleface into Huron territory?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that myself.
Did you take the keg on the end? The one with the yellow mark on the side?
Like others?
Like others.
long do you plan on keeping that fire going, Carpenter?
Why, all night, naturally.
With Hurons about, that's a sure way of telling them where we are.
Sawaga assured me, Hawkeye, that we're in no danger from the Indians.
Well, I'm inclined to think differently about that.
What do you mean?
Sawaga gone from camp.
Gone?
Yes, he's probably gone to rejoin his tribe. Sawaga's no Mohawk, or he wouldn't venture 1 foot into Huron territory alone.
Sawaga is renegade, blood brother of Huron.
I don't believe you. If Sawaga's not here, I don't see what there is to get alarmed about. He'll be back.
Well, he may, and then again he may not. We'll go out and try to pick up his trail and see what he's up to. In the meantime, you'd better break out those powder kegs and extra rifles that you brought along. And put out that fire.
Everett, come here.
What is it?
Sand.
That's a war party if I ever saw one.
If what Sawaga tell us is true, white man called Jason Masters give many guns for our hunters.
It is true. Masters not want rival trading post. He say, drive settlers back. Frighten them so they will never return to land of Huron. For this, many guns.
And Yankee guns. They will not shoot?
Powder kegs filled with sand.
When great sun comes over tree, many scalps will hang in our lodges.
Carpenter will be wiped out before he knows what hit him.
Only one way escape, across water. You go warn Carpenter, be ready. I bring canoes after Hurons leave.
I'm sure, my dear, this is all some sort of misunderstanding.
But, Everett, that doesn't explain how the sand got in the powder kegs. There's scarcely enough powder left to fill the horns.
There, it's not as bad as all that. The Indians haven't attacked us, have they?
Everett.
There's a Huron war party headed this way. Your guide, Sawaga, will be right out in front leading them. Take all the women down along the water's edge a ways. You men stay here with me. Get all the blankets you can. Get that fire started and keep it burning. Come on, move. How much powder have you got left?
Well, there was sand.
I heard about that. How much good powder have you got?
Less than half a keg.
Well, get it.
What are they doing?
They're probably trying to pick up our trail. Here comes Chingachgook with the canoes.
Get in the canoes, hurry!
Guns speak death to Huron.
No, powder soon gone. See? Take canoe.
Go, bring canoes.
Grey Wolf didn't waste any time.
We not last long here without more powder.
What are we going to do?
Carpenter, if I get you out of this, will you promise me something?
Yes, anything.
Will you take your people back to Bridgeton, wait until spring, until the Hurons have cleared out of this area, then Chingachgook and I will come back, we'll guide you to your new land and get you settled properly. If you've still got a mind to be pioneers.
Yes, yes, of course. I'll give you my word. But how will you...
I'll worry about that. Right now, we've got a fight in our hands. Now, the rest of you, hold your fire like I told you. Grey Wolf, I want to talk to you. Our guns will be silent.
You killed Grey Wolf, all die. You listen, Hawkeye.
Talk.
Your braves will die before they take any scalps. My people are well protected.
You have no powder. Soon fire sticks no good. Then we come.
Who told you we have no powder? You've heard our guns speak, and they'll speak again and again.
Grey Wolf not believe you.
If we're out of powder, why would I waste it like this? Every man up there could do this. We'd still have more than enough powder to blow you out of the water. You satisfied?
Brave's not afraid to die.
My people aren't afraid to die either. But there's no sense in killing everyone. You said that my scalp would bring great honor to your teepee. Suppose I give myself up to you, become your prisoner. We'll stop this battle.
You, my prisoner, to save Yengeese?
And Hurons. You call off your braves, and we'll let these people go back to the village unharmed.
When great sun fall into mountain, Hawkeye come to village. Leave knife, fire stick behind.
All right. I'll come unarmed.
Does he really think you'll be there?
He does, and I will. You'll find after you've been here a while, it doesn't pay to break your word with a Huron or any Indian. Now, come on, let's get these people back to the wagons. I haven't much time.
Oh!
I guess you can make it on in from here, all right.
I don't know quite what to say.
Don't try to say it. Just live up to your end of the bargain.
I guess I've got a lot to learn.
My brother Chingachgook, this is as far as we go together.
What mean this? Where my brother go, I go.
It's needless for you to go, too. I gave my word to Grey Wolf that I'd be his prisoner if he'd let the settlers go without bloodshed.
Oh, I know Hawkeye not break word, but we have traveled many trails together for many moons. We have shared trouble and danger. I go with you.
No, you stay. Manitou be with you.
Hawkeye, come. Hawkeye, my prisoner.
I've kept my end of the bargain, if that's what you mean.
Hawkeye, brave. Soon torture of fire prove how brave. Take him.
Wait. If Grey Wolf puts Hawkeye to the fire, then Grey Wolf is without honor.
Why Hawkeye say this?
Because you didn't capture me, I gave myself up in exchange for the lives of the white settlers. Now you owe me a favor.
Grey Wolf owe nothing.
What about the lives of your braves that were saved? The white man saves the life of a Huron and is taken prisoner. He's given the chance to defend himself and earn his freedom. If you don't believe me, ask your counsel.
Hawkeye tricked Grey Wolf.
I'm just giving you the chance to get great honor by getting my scalp in combat.
How we fight?
Any way you say.
Tomahawk.
Offhand, I'd say you lost, Grey Wolf.
Hawkeye, kill now.
No. I figure I've done what I started to do.
I guess that means I'm officially in business.
Well, I reckon it does. Too bad Jason had to sell out so fast.
Someday I'll still found the settlement of Carpenterville.
Of course you will, Everett. But as you said, only after we found out more about this frontier life.
With new settlers and fur traders like us, you'll do plenty of business right here, Carpenter.
Oh, but we got no fur.
That's right, I plumb forgot. Well, I guess we better go back and see Grey Wolf again.
Now?
Why not? There are furs, aren't they? You better go back in there and start figuring your prices. We'll be back and be your first customers.